Hey Guildies, it's Sito here from the Ultimate Fighting Guild. I'm here to talk to you about some rated battleground tactics for Arathi Basin. The video is kind of instructional. We don't go too much into specifics, not like a playbook, but hopefully it'll increase your overall understanding of Arathi Basin. Okay. So what we've got covered in this video is we're going to talk about the team configuration and the group makeup first, what members you should have with you in your team in Arathi Basin. Then we're going to talk about starting Arathi Basin, things you should do before the fight, the pre-team checks. Then we're going to talk about what's really needed to win Arathi Basin. Following that, we're going to talk about the Arathi Basin a bit more detail, the bases, how you can cap the flags, how you can defend them, report incomings, avoid incomings, etc. And then finally we're going to go over the main opening tactic and how you should respond after that. Okay, so RBG team config. So I'm assuming that your team's fairly well balanced. You've got healers, you've got tanks if need be, you've got rogues, you've got stealthers for the capping flags. The tank's not really needed, so they can switch spec if needed to something more handy. I'd advise 3 healers, 1 for each base you cap. Stealthers are very handy for prospecting. You can send them off and hopefully they'll ninja cap. And boomkins are handy for the lumber mill. So next we're going to talk about the startup team checks. This is after you've just entered Arathi Basin with your group. So everyone should be on TeamSpeak or Ventrilo. Everyone should set their roles. Then the raid leader should pass the leader position to the rated battleground leader. This is so he can then assign groups in the raid window. For instance, if you're going to capture 3 bases, you can put whichever members you want to send to which base in those specific groups, and therefore it's easier for visibility in an instance. Finally, the leader should decide who the DPS focus callers are at each of these bases, and then tell everyone finally where to go. Colour coded it green for what you absolutely must do every battleground to stand a chance, yellow for what's rarely done but can really help, and red for what's hardly ever done but can really help. So what's needed to win Arathi Basin? Well, overall I think observation, checking for incomings constantly on the line of sight at each specific base. Communication with the group is very important, so report incomings when you see them, how many people are coming, etc. and assist where needed and where required and where asked. Be adaptive and reactive to changes in the strategy as and when they arrive. If you need to switch to another base, then do so, but do it well communicated. Stick together and avoid fighting in the middle where possible. And that's it. Control 3 or more of the bases and you'll win. It's that easy. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the standard opener that we tend to run in most of our RBGs. This is where we start, Trollbane Hall, circled on the map. It's the one end of the map, and the Horde start the opposite end of the map. So on the whole you'll see there's 5 bases. Stables is the first we tend to capture. This is the nearest to our starting point, and although it's not the easiest to defend, it's very accessible. Next, the lumber mill. That's very vulnerable from attack from the Horde starting base, the farm and the blacksmith. And also if they've got it, the stables, but it does offer some unparalleled views over the map. The blacksmith also has excellent views over the map, but it's the most vulnerable, being surrounded by all the other bases So yeah, horde like this one, so it's hard to get, but if you get it, it can control the game. The mine is probably one of the worst in my opinion out of all the bases. It's got the worst line of sight to all the other bases, it's hard to defend, but it can be practical in pranking it, just getting the flag for a few moments off the enemy. The farm also, that's hard to get because it's one of the first bases the enemy's going to go for when they start. However, if we do get it, it's excellent because we can cut the enemy off from their starting point there, where they initially begin. So there are all the bases, and I would say out of all of them, this is the order of priority for what you want to capture, what's most desirable. Lumber mill being the most desirable, with mine being the least desirable. So that's the standard opener. We normally want to capture those 3 bases, and that's the sort of route we run. However, if you've got a Death Knight, you can run across the water between stables and blacksmiths, which can save you a bit of time. And once we've got them, we like to try and prospect. That means send a rogue or a stealther or someone that can defend once they do capture the mine or the farm. This is really the backbone of the game. We want to do this because the longer they don't have a base, the less likely it is they'll win, and the more likely it is we'll capture it and win. 4 bases is excellent, but we only really need 3 to win. If we do actually capture the farm, which it would be the preferred base, then that's excellent. We can totally control the horde from there, because as they res in their starting point, we'll be able to kill them around the farm, and they won't get to the other bases. Faster game. And that's it. Yeah, thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe and stay tuned for more.